Hello Unlimited friends, it's Zara back again with Q&A about the law of attraction and its application to our lives. The question today is about abundance and money. It's from Prakriti. She always submits excellent questions. Thank you for another fabulous question, Prakriti. She says, could you please do a video on the difference between spending money with an abundant mindset and wasting money unnecessarily? Love this question. And thank you so much for it. People, this is my virtual hot seat. I'm Zara Mahoon. This is my virtual hot seat. And if you have a question about the law of attraction, you can leave it in a comment below or send me an email through my website, zmahoon.com. All right, let's get started. Can I do a video on the difference between spending money with an abundant mindset and wasting money unnecessarily? So the thing is, sweetheart, it's about abundance. Ideally speaking, we should be so abundant in our thinking that we can afford anything that our heart desires. You desire it and you can say yes to it and bring it home. And it's not wasting money. So the thing about your thinking is that you believe that there are good things to spend money on, and then there are wasteful things to spend money on. But in reality, from the point of view of the universe, there is no such thing as wasteful spending. Money is never wasted, because when you buy that thing and you bring it home, you are contributing towards keeping the economy running. You just contributed to the income of so many people. You contributed to the profitability of a business. That's not a waste. So money spent is never wasted. When you call it waste, that means you're spending money that you don't have. That's what wastage is that I have needs and I am not covering my needs, and I'm going and spending money on my wants. That is unnecessary spending of money. So the thing to do, very simple thing to do, is to ask yourself, is it something, can I pay for all my wants and my needs first, and then whatever is left on my wants? Or am I neglecting a need in order to satisfy a want? That's a simple question that you need to ask yourself when you're spending money. If you think that you are being frivolous, that's the only question you need to ask. Have I fulfilled all my commitments? If I have kept all my commitments, I've paid all my bills, I have paid for everything and I have money that I can eat and pay for all my upkeep, then the rest I can spend as I wish. The mistake people make is that they take money that is already committed towards a need, a commitment that you have made. You promised the utility company when you got the utility meter that you were going to pay your utility bill. You promised the mortgage company that when you took out a mortgage, you promised that you would pay those mortgage payments every single month for the next 25 years, 30 years. If you don't keep your promises, then you are getting into trouble. Because if you don't keep your promise to someone else, your self-worth goes down the tube. You don't feel good about yourself. So any time spending money is bad is when you have ignored your needs in favor of your wants. And the way to stop doing that is to say, what is my need? Have I looked after my need? Is this extra money that I can do anything I want with because everything else is looked after? Then go, by all means, spend it. So I made a mental mind shift, because of which I became a multi-millionaire. And yes, you don't see me flaunting my houses and my rental properties and my lifestyle. because that's just not who I am. That's not how I roll. But I will tell you that I created serious wealth with a mindset that said creating wealth is a need. I must create wealth. And so when it came for me to decide whether I was going to go and bring this home, if it compromised my ability to build wealth, I'm not going to do it. I had savings goals. And if my savings goals were looked after, because those savings they were already committed, I had already committed myself to buy a property. So I needed to come up with the money to buy a property. How am I going to buy a property if I don't commit myself to saving the money for doing so? So that was my priority. It was a need, it was not a want. And this is where a lot of young people go wrong. Because young people who don't know any better, it's just because they don't know any better. Nobody's taught them. Nobody's taught them this. Because young people think that owning property is something they want, but it's not a necessity. That's what I changed in my head. I said, that is a necessity. I'm gonna do it. It's a necessity. So I'm going to not compromise my goal to create millions over a frivolous night out. Because I'm going to create the wealth that is going to keep generating income for me, and then I will go and become frivolous. Because I will have accomplished my goal and created machinery that's going to give me the money that I want on a regular basis. So, money, there is no such thing as spending money unnecessarily unless you're taking it away from a commitment, a need. If you're taking money that you need, that is already assigned to a commitment, and you're spending it on something that is not a commitment, that is unnecessarily spending money. Don't do that. And it starts with becoming aware of what are your goals. What are your needs? You've got to know what your budget is. What are your commitments that you cannot wriggle out of? You've got to look after those first. And once you've got those looked after, everything else you can spend without worrying. It's not unnecessary spending. Spending that makes you happy is not unnecessary spending. But spending money that was committed to something else will make you unhappy. So let's say that I have to pay a $100 bill to my utility company, my internet company. Let's say it's my internet bill. I have to pay $100. And then I only have $100, which I have in the bank account because I know that that bill is coming up. But I go to the mall and I see something beautiful and I want to bring it home. And I take those and I say to myself, I've got $100. I'll see about paying that bill later. I'll worry about it later. And I take that money and I bring that thing home that I want to bring home. I'm not going to feel good. It might feel good for like 2 seconds, but the weight of a commitment that needs to be kept is going to destroy my joy of bringing this thing that I bought home. And I will not do that. I've learned the hard way not to do that. And I have prospered because of this attitude, because it has enabled me to create wealth. And I don't think I've missed out on anything, because here I am with multiple properties and doing things that I love doing, like being on YouTube just now. Whereas my counterparts, people that I know, colleagues, my people in the same boat as myself, my school fellows, etc., even my ex, have not created what I've created because they are busy spending everything, whereas I made the decision to forego some of that spending, some of that joy for this joy. So, which joy do you want more? Do you want the joy today, all the joy today, or do you want to reserve some of it so that you can continue having joy in the future? And so I see, as a financial advisor, I see people who cannot retire. They cannot stop working in their 70, 72, 73 years old. They cannot stop working. They want to, they cannot stop working. Why? Because they compromised the need to stop working at some point in time. They compromised their retirement, which is a need. It's not optional. It is a need, but they compromised it in favor of a want. So they didn't keep a commitment that they should have kept. And when you don't keep commitments, you don't feel good and it doesn't work out well. So anyway, Prakriti, thank you so much for this absolutely amazing question. Love you lots. Bye for now.